So, so far you have done, various techniques, forwards, futures, options, and money market is supposed to do. Now in forward, you have to go to the bank or a financial institution. So you get a quote from there and you book your dollars or any other currency at a rate which is fixed today for any future date. Okay. And there is a physical, a settlement which happens in a forward market. But in a futures market, it is through a stock exchange, okay, where the cash settlement happens. Particularly in foreign currency, there is a cash settlement, which means that you don't get the delivery of, the foreign currency of your choice, whether it is dollar or pound, but you will get either a profit or a loss. You have to still buy your dollars or any other currency from the market, okay. So your profit is going to hedge you, okay, or your loss is going to also hedge you, fine. And then that's a future this thing. In options, basically you have an option, okay, to exercise your right or not. It's up to you basically. If it goes in your favor, then you're going to exercise it. Otherwise, you're going to let it expire worthless and go to the market and buy at a cheaper rate. Suppose if the dollar goes up, okay, suppose you imported certain things. I'm just briefly touching so that you are in sync with that. Suppose you're buying, you want to buy dollars. You have an exposure in dollars and you have to pay it after 6 months. Today the rate is around say 87. Suppose you fear that it will go to 90. Okay. Then suppose you have gone to the stock exchange instead of going to the forward market. So you have to choose a strike price. Suppose you choose a strike price which is similar to current spot rate, which is called at the money. So you choose the at the money strike price, and you hope and you're going for options. Okay, so you buy call option if you're a importer, but if you're an exporter, you buy a put option. Okay, because in a call option, if the price goes up, you make money. Of course, you'll be losing in your actual transaction. That means your import transaction, but that profit will offset your losses in the spot market. Okay. Suppose if the dollar goes to 90, so how much you're getting? 3 rupees, isn't it? So you'll get 3 rupees from the stock exchange, but you have to pay 90 in the market, because you go to the bank, he'll charge you 90 because the rate is today 90. So in fact, your effective rate comes to 87, isn't it? Is it clear? Now, if the rate drops, it goes to 85, then you don't exercise your right, and then you go to the then whatever premium you have paid, that you lose. Okay, fine, because for going to the option market you have to pay a premium. So at the most you can lose the premium, but you will get the dollar at a cheaper rate. So there you have, best of both the worlds in option trade. If it goes up, then you exercise it, but if it goes down, you don't exercise it. Let the option contract expire worthless and go to the market and buy dollar at a cheaper rate at 85. Okay, because when you booked it for 87, now it's 85. There is no harm. There is no sense in making exercising option, because the dollar is 85. Okay, and you can't. So you lose the premium and go to the spot market and buy dollars at 85. Okay, in futures market, either you lose or gain. Okay, there is no midway, but you are protected. So whatever rate you took a future contract in stock exchange, so that will become your price. Suppose you bought it at 87, then 87 price you are hedged. Even if it goes to 85, you won't get the benefit of 2 rupees, because the spot market it is 85. You still buy the dollars 87. Is that clear? Is that clear? Very clear to all of you? Have you all done this? Okay, just to talk again, and then we move on to the hedge because time is limited. So you have various options. Either you go to the forward market, there you go to the bank, and the bank you ask for dollars. Okay, suppose your exposure in dollars and you have to pay the dollar after 6 months, so they'll give you a rate. So that rate is fixed. So after 6 months, you will buy dollars at that rate. Even if the rate drops, you will have to still buy at a higher rate. But since you will have a peace of mind that that you have actually booked your dollars, you may either gain or lose. That is different. But in your mind, you wanted to hedge, and you have hedged yourself. Okay. Now, you can similarly go to the futures market instead of going to the forward market. Now, what is the advantage is, because the future market is very deep, okay, and transactions are humongous. Like suppose there are 100 guys in the forward market, there will be 10,000 guys in the in the futures market. Okay, but unfortunately, in the current scenario, the government has put a ban on future trading, particularly when you are a speculator. But if you are a hedger, you can still buy it. So that the transactions are now getting limited in the futures market also. So in the futures market, you were able to get a better rate because of the so many people are there, the speculators as well as the hedgers. But now the speculators are missing because the government has put a temporary ban on futures trading. So it was always making sense to go to the futures market instead of going to the forward market, because you get a better rate. Suppose the dollar is available at say 87 rupees 25 paisa in the forward market, maybe in futures market it will be slightly some pennies cheaper. So you will get an advantage. Now the third is options, where you want, if the dollar goes down, then you will not like to hedge yourself, isn't it? But if the dollar goes up, then you are worried man, because your exposure is going up and you have to pay more money. Okay, so you want best of both the things. You take an options trade by paying a small premium, maybe 5 paisa, 10 paisa, 20 paisa, depending upon whether your option is in the money, at the money, or out of the money. Suppose it is deep in the money, then the premium will be very, very high. So normally you book at the money, where the premium is somewhere middle. So you pay the premium to the premium writer and you book your contract. Now if the dollar is today trading at 87 and you have chosen a strike price of 87, which is at the money, so you pay some premium and now you're on a contract for 6 months or 3 months or whatever period you're chosen. Okay. Now if the rate goes to 90, you're a happy man, because you have chosen a strike price of 87, you're sitting on a 3 rupees gain. Okay. So you're going to exercise your right and ask the writer to give the dollar at 87. Now he's not going to give you dollars, but he's going to give you the cash, 3 rupees, because he is losing 3, so he's going to give you $3. Okay, and minus the premium, so that is your ultimate gain. So suppose it is 2 rupees 80 paisa or 85 paisa. Then you go to the market, bank, and buy the dollars at the prevalent rate, which is $90. But your effective cost will be your price at the dollar which you bought from the market minus the option gain you made from the stock exchange. So you are better off. But the possibility can be that the dollar, instead of going up, it gone down. It goes to 85. Then you are not interested in exercising your option, and then you let the option expire and lose the premium. Okay, and the writer will make the money and you are going to lose that money. But go to the cash market and buy the dollar from there and you get at a cheaper rate. Is that all clear? Okay. Now the money market hedging. Now it's a technique. Some people always ask, even Ashish Pandey always asks where it is being used. It has been widely used internationally, even in India. Okay, but for data for the Western countries available, like Apple is doing, Microsoft is doing, they are all doing in that. Even India, currently it has been done. So there was a swap deal announced by the government of India in December 2024. So I'll talk about that later. So first we talk about what is the scheme. Let's understand the basics. It's a very simple one. Okay, fine. So it is an external technique. That means you have to go to, outside instead of looking inside. Of course, there are internal techniques where you do it yourself. If you can have a natural hedge, you're exporter and importer, then to some extent you're already hedged. So that is called the internal way of managing your foreign currency exposure. Okay, or you do through the derivative instruments. Okay, so either you use a derivative instrument like futures, forwards, and options, or you go to the money market hedge. Okay, now money market hedge is more so. Makes sense when you don't get a forward contract. Okay. When you are not able to get a forward contract. Now, if you go for a dollar, you will get a forward contract. But suppose your exposure in some other currency. Suppose it is a New Zealand dollar, okay, or any other currency. Suppose you don't get a forward rate from the bank so easily, or the banks are charging very high. Then other option is go to the money market. So that is one. Okay. Second is basically, so if it is not available, or suppose you work out both the options and see which is cheaper. Okay, if you find money market is cheaper than the forward, then go for money market, otherwise go for a forward, okay, or a futures, fine. So you have to just, look at all the possibilities and work out which is the cheapest mode and then go for that hedging technique, okay. So it can be done for even dollar, it can be done for any instrument where the money market had become cheaper, so you will go for a money market, okay. So there is a lot of theory which I am just skipping, I will come back to this later on. So first, we'll straight away go, what is the mechanics, how we do it. So it's a rupee dollar, kind of a situation. Let me see if I have, I'm recording it. Huh? Yeah, it's getting recorded. So we are going straight away to the two. Either you can be an importer or you can be an importer or an exporter. Okay. Either you're an importer or you're an exporter. That means you have to pay foreign currency to someone, or you're going to receive a foreign currency from someone, either by way of exporter or importer or anyway. Okay. So let's say that you are either exporter or importer, which covers all the cases. Now, suppose you are an exporter. Okay. And suppose you are in India, your home currency is rupee, and you are exposed to dollars. Okay. So this is a template which you can use for any currency. Okay. Fine. It holds true for any currency. So what you do is, if you are an exporter, that means you will get dollars from outside, isn't it? That means, after some time, your customer is going to pay dollar to you. Okay. So you bring the dollars immediately home. You borrow dollars. Of course, you are going to get from your customer after 6 months. You borrow dollars and bring them in India and deposit in India. So that is what you have to do. Okay. So borrow dollars in the foreign currency. Okay. So you are going to borrow dollars. Of course, you are going to get dollar from your customer after some time. You borrow immediately. Okay. Convert the dollar into rupee at the spot rate, which is prevailing, and then invest the rupee so that the amount grows. Okay. So this is what you are going to do, nothing else. Then pay the dollar loan with interest using your receivables. Now, after 6 months, you are going to get anyway your money from your customer. So you have taken a dollar loan. So that dollar loan will be equivalent to your amount which you have to pay, along with the interest should be equal to, so that it pays off your a loan when you are going to get your money from your customer. Okay, fine. So you have to borrow in such a way that even after paying interest, it is equivalent to the money which you are going to receive from your customer. So that liability will be set off, and the money will come to India. It is converted in rupees, and then it is also earning some interest in Indian rupee. Okay, and for say 6 months or 3 months by the time your customer pays. So if you look at the overall this thing, you find that you are making money. Okay, fine. If you are making money and it is better than a forward contract, do this. Otherwise, go for a forward contract. Okay. So let's first take an example of this, and then we'll come to the imports later on. So suppose there is an Indian company, okay, Rohit and Brothers. So they will be covering itself against a likely depreciation of pound sterling. So following data is given. Now, if if your customer is in pounds, okay, now it is pound, not pound sterling. Okay. So if your exposure is in pounds, that means you're going to get pounds from abroad. So if the pound depreciates, you're going to get less rupee per pound. Okay, so you are worried about that. So you have actually exported goods worth 5 lakh pounds. Okay, and the spot rate is 106 per pound. So currently it's close to this only. Okay, of course this example was long set 20 years back, so it was 106 that time also, and today also it went down to 85, 90. 75 also, and then it's gone back to 106. Or maybe I have changed the rate few years back. Okay, I just amended this question. Okay, so payment date is 3 months from now. So after 3 months, you're going to get 5 lakh pounds from your customer. Okay, and today the spot rate is 106. Now suppose, assuming the 3 months interest rate in India is 12%. Okay, suppose the India the rate is 12%. Okay, now the rates can always change. Okay, suppose at the time when we set up this question, it was 12%, but in UK the rate of interest is 5%. Okay, so what should the exporter do? That is the question. So he is going to use a money marketer, because there is no other quotations given to you. There is no forward contract rate. There is no options data. There is no futures data. So the interest rates are only given. So so here basically you have to do a money market hedging. Now, if the rate of interest is 12% in India and in UK it is 5%, which currency is going to depreciate, the rupee or pound? Any questions? Yeah, any answers please? agar suppose, in which currency is going to depreciate, or which currency is going to appreciate?
INR is going to appreciate, while pound is going to depreciate.
Okay. Anybody else?
Same.
Same. INR is going to appreciate. And
INR would depreciate.
INR is going to appreciate or depreciate. What is the answer? So please hold on. What are you doing? Isko band kar do. Just listen to me. Now, if the interest rate is higher for a country, against the other country, that currency depreciates. Okay. This is the first, simple fundamental concept, that in India, the rate of interest is higher. More the inflation in the country compared to the other country, that country which has a higher inflation, that currency is going to lose. Just to give an example, so that you don't remember it always. Suppose today the bread is costing you rupees 85. Okay, and think that $1 is equivalent to rupees 85. Okay, suppose in India the bread costs you 85. Now after 1 year, the bread cost has become 90. Okay, assume that in America there is no inflation, and India only the inflation is there. Then the rate will go up to 90. Because the dollar can buy the same loaf of bread what it was able to buy a year back. So wherever there is an inflation, or the inflation differential, or the interest rate differential, because inflation is higher, the interest rate will be also higher. So this will lead the dollar to go up. So the dollar will appreciate and Indian rupee is going to depreciate. Okay, because in India the inflation is higher, and the dollar will not lose value, Indian value rupees is going to lose the value, isn't it? Fine. So now inflation or interest rate, they are all correlated. If the higher inflation, then you will have a higher interest rate also. Is that okay? Fine. So here in India it is 12%, and in UK it is 5%. That means the pound is going to appreciate. Fine. Now, so what Rohit is going to do, he is going to cover the risk in the money market. Okay. So borrow pounds, so he is going to borrow pounds immediately. Okay. How much? The borrowing must be such, at the end of 3 months, the amount becomes 5 lakh pounds. Okay. Because he is going to get 5 lakh pounds, so you borrow in such a way that along with interest cost, it goes to 5 lakh pounds, so that you can pay this loan set off against your amount which you are going to receive from your customer. So how you are going to calculate? Because the rate of interest is given in England, which is 5%. Okay. So that means if you borrow the money in England, you have to pay 5%, assuming that that's a borrowing rate in England. Okay. Fine. So it is 5%. So which means he has to borrow 4,93,827 pounds, isn't it? So if you apply 5% on it, it will become 5 lakhs. So you borrowed 4,93,000 pounds immediately. Okay. And then it will, after interest, will go to 5 lakh pound, which is going to settle your money you're going to receive in the customer. It will offset that liability. Now you bring this money in India. That means if suppose you're borrowing abroad and you're bringing in India, or even you can borrow even pounds in India, convert the borrowed sum into rupee at the spot rate. The spot rate is 106. Okay. So how much money will it become? 5 crore 23 lakhs 45,662. So that is the amount which you have brought in India, and this is the money we would have got ultimately if the customer would have paid. Okay, because he would have paid after 6 months or 3 months. Sorry, here. So the sum thus obtained is placed in a money market at 12%. India's rate of interest is 12%, assuming that you're going to earn 12%. Suppose that is the rate, a deposit rate. Okay, fine, because there are two rates given. So we are assuming the UK is a borrowing rate and this is a lending. This is a deposit rate. Okay, and UK is a borrowing rate. Okay, otherwise the rates can be given, which is the borrowing and which is the lending. So you can apply accordingly. Okay, so 5 crore 23 lakhs is going to become 5 crore 39 lakhs 16,000 after 3 months, isn't it? Fine. So this is the amount which you are going to get after 3 months from your banker when he pays the interest to you. The sum of 5 lakh received from the client at the end of 3 months is used to refund the loan taken earlier. Okay, fine. You have taken a loan of 5 lakh pound. So the money you are going to pay him the loan you are going to pay off from this 5 lakh pound. From the calculations, the money market operation has entered into a net gain of 9,16,000. Okay, fine. Overall, the gain is because your initially you had to get it is 5 crore 39 lakhs which the amount grew, and 5 lakh pound multiplied by 106 at the spot rate would have given you some amount. Okay, so which is 5 crore 30 lakhs at the bottom here. So that means you are gaining a figure of 9,16,000. Is that clear? Okay. Now, if you look at the rate of 12% and 5%. So what is the differential? 7%. Divide by 4 because 3 months. So it is 1.75%, which is the the differential. Okay, fine. So now just to calculate what is the effective rate what you have got. So take 5 crore 39 lakhs and divide by 5 lakh pounds. So what is the rate you have got? 107.83. What was the rate at the spot rate? 106. So you have got 107.83. So you calculate the difference, it will come to 1.75. That is the money which you have gained eventually. That is the rate at which the your pounds have grown. Okay, fine. So 5 crore 39 lakhs divided by 5 lakhs gives you a rate of 107.83. So that means your effective rate, because after using money market hedge you are getting 107.83. Okay, so the rupee, the pound has actually appreciated from 106 to 107.83 via the money market, isn't it? Now suppose if a forward quote was available to you, suppose you went to the market and saw what was the rate. Suppose the 3-month forward rate is 106, okay, or 108. So what Rohit will do? Rohit is going to, if it is 108, then there is no sense of going to the money market hedge. So rather go to the forward market, because here you are getting 108 in the forward market. But if the rate was 106 only, then the money market is making sense, because then you are getting 107.83. Is that okay? So which means even if you have a forward rate and a money market hedge, so you do the calculations and see where you are getting the maximum gain.
You can directly calculate it with formula.
Huh?
Forward rate is equal to spot rate into interest of price.
Which one?
Forward rate is equal to spot rate into interest rate of price currency by.
This is actually the formula is like this. Okay, it is the forward rate is equal to the interest rate is 1 plus 0.0 what was the rate? 0.012 12 upon 1 plus 0.07 was 5. What was the 5? So this is equal to into spot rate. Okay, so you are referring to this formula, or say spot into 1.12 divided by 1.05 is equal to the forward rate. Okay, so if you calculate this, this is what you are getting. 107 would come from this formula. Okay, fine. So you are getting 107.83. Okay, fine. So if you apply the formula, you will get the same. Okay, 107.83, which I have done here. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I have done 107.83 minus 106 divided by 106. Okay, fine. So it comes to 1.73. So whenever in a question, whenever the rates are given, the forward rate is given and the money market hedge, the rate of interest is given. So you apply both and see where you are getting the maximum. So go for that kind of this thing. So I'll be doing a question where we will be using all the 4 possibilities: money market hedge and a forward. So this is just because using a money market hedge you are getting 107.83. But if you suppose the forward rate was available, suppose it was 108, then what you would have done? The money market or a forward rate? Which is more beneficial? Suppose you went to the forward market and the pound was available, the forward rate after 3 months was 108. Okay, so what you would have done? Taken a forward cover or gone to the money market? I am asking you.
So the 108, the forward.
Forward rate. So you would have gone to the forward. You were entered into a forward contract with the bank rather than going to the money market. Suppose the forward rate was say 105. In that case, If the forward rate was 105, then the money market is making sense because there you're getting your higher at a higher rate. Effective rate is 107.8. Is that clear? Okay. So now let's look at another question. Okay. So this first question was exports. The second is imports. Okay. Now imports, what we do is basically